if you'd like to take a seat. Lamine Baali, thank you very much for joining us. Morocco recently acquired 24 F-16 fighter jets from the United States. Does the Polisario see this as a direct threat?
Thank you. It is quite important question in the sense that, we try our best. We are trying our best to find a solution to the conflict of Western Sahara for many years. Suddenly and surprisingly, we have noticed that Morocco have purchased 24 jets of F-16, which cost enormous amount of money. And I believe so is Polisario and the region are that kind of money used to purchase such kind of advanced jet fighter to be used for economic development in Morocco itself, provide more job for the Moroccans, provide more social benefit, provide more work for Moroccans. And no other context one could take it more than increasing the tension and also giving signal to Polisario and to the international community that Morocco is focusing on tension rather than detention, which is required for a political solution to the conflict of Western Sahara. And I think, the international community has the responsibility to point out to the Moroccan government that this kind of purchase will not help to create the right framework, the right time, right context by which the Western Sahara conflict can be sorted out. And we have made statement in which we have alerted the international community and about this, and we have made our point very clear and loud, and our condemnation to such kind of purchase by Moroccan government to these jet fighters.
How great is Morocco's military presence currently in Western Sahara?
Morocco, since its invasion to Western Sahara, when you talk about the military presence of Morocco in the territory of Western Sahara, you could trace it back from 1975. From 1975, Morocco, as you know, invaded the Western Sahara by military invasion. As a consequence to that, Morocco has built a wall in the territory of Western Sahara long of 2,700 kilometers. That's required from the Moroccan military capacity. Something like 90% of the Moroccan capacity are in the military trenches, in the military wall, in the Moroccan wall of shame, as we call it. And definitely Morocco, the bulk, the huge capacity of Morocco military is existing in the occupied territory of Western Sahara. That's why the settlement plan in 1991 required the reduction of the Moroccan troops from the Western Sahara, by which we will allow the condition to be consent for the organization of referendum. And but unfortunately, the international community have not put its pressure on Morocco to allow the referendum to take place. That's why the military capacity of Morocco is still there. Tanks, tanks and guns, mortars, minefields, with all kind of radars, It is a military occupation, and which Morocco has used all its military capacity in the territory.
The Moroccan government have built a number of settlements in Western Sahara in places like Dakhla and Laayoune. Some have even compared this to the settlements built by the Israeli government in Palestine. To what extent do you agree with that comparison?
I do agree with that statement to a certain extent. Morocco occupation has taken military forms, administrative forms, police, gendarme, secret service, and also settlers. Morocco were engaged in transforming the territory by changing its demography, by sending Moroccans from Morocco itself to the Western Sahara, to the occupied territory of Western Sahara. And they start to construct some kind of buildings by which these people can live in. In addition, they are trying to say that they are building these places as a message to the Sahrawi refugees. If they go back to the territory, they will find the houses there. But in reality, those houses, if there is any substantial one, any number which one could really say that it is really some kind of effort by the Moroccan government, it's meant for their own people, for their own civil servants, for their own settlers. But I believe this is quite normal in the colonizations. You know, when the colonizer arrive, will start to create a condition by which they can live in, such as, you know, buildings and such as, you know, some kind of basic infrastructure, but not to the level which the people of Western Sahara will enjoy. On the contrary, the Sahrawi people are not enjoying these kind of buildings. They are not using. They are not really. They don't have decent houses, and they are marginalized. And the economy and the wealth of the territory has not been benefiting the people of Western Sahara. On the contrary, it has been benefiting the armies and benefiting the authorities, and the people of the territory has been marginalized. The employment is very high in the occupied territory, and also the fish and phosphate has not been benefiting the Sahrawi people. On the contrary, it's the Moroccan settlers and Moroccan government who are getting, you know, the benefit out of that. I think also the comparative element here is that, you know, the Palestinians have the right for existence. The Palestinians have the right in for their states, and we do have the right of self-determination, by which we can decide what we would like, whether independence or to be part of Morocco, on the basis of the Charter of United Nations 1514 and 1541, which stated, you know, the colonized people should have the chance to express their view whether they would like independence or to be associated with independent country or to be part of the colonizer. That's exactly the comparative element between us and the Palestinians. We have the right to exist. So is the Palestinians. The form of occupation can differ a little bit from each case. In the case of Western Sahara, Morocco have used all the trick in the book to strengthen its grip on the territory, on the Sahrawi people. For instance, they don't allow people to demonstrate freely or to express their view freely without any intimidation, and they have harassed, you know, civil activists, civil human rights activists, and even they put them in jail, and they even prevented press from visiting the territory, and they prevented member of parliament, member of European Parliament, member of, you know, diplomat to visit and to see diplomat to see by themselves what's going on in the occupied territory. This is a form of occupation. This is a form of a policy carried out by Morocco for a very long time. Yes, there is a colony. There is a colonizer called the Morocco government, and there is a people who are being colonized by Morocco called the Sahrawi people, who are resisting for their freedom and independence.
The Moroccan government recently claimed that Polisario rebels have been fighting for Gaddafi in Libya. How does the Polisario react to such a statement?
It's very surprising statement from some Libyan activists, and it has been very widely spread by the Moroccan mass media. We have denied it categorically. The whole statement by whether from the Libyans or from any other sources. We have nothing to do with Libya. We have no involvement whatsoever. We have our conflict, which is enough for us. It is enough to deal with. And our stand on the question of Libya and the conflict in Libya, it is compatible with African Union. We believe in political settlement. We believe in negotiation. We don't interfere in any other countries' affairs. And it's up to the Libyans to decide how the conflict of Libya will be sorted out. We have made that. We have denied it in different levels. My colleague in New York and Washington have denied it. My colleague in Italy. We have denied it on the formal from the headquarters. I have denied it myself. It is completely unfounded, groundless, And this kind of speculation, this kind of smear campaign carried out by Morocco aimed to tarnish the credibility of Western Sahara. We don't have such kind of power to get involved in all of this, and definitely we have nothing to do with Libya. We don't have anything to do with Gaddafi. We don't have anything to do with the business of Libya. And because the Moroccans are saying it, try to do all tricks possible to label Polisario in one color or another. And it's not the only one. They have said many things in the past, and this one will not be the last. But I think, I use this opportunity to deny categorically our involvement in any form whatsoever in Libya affairs.
The coastal waters of Western Sahara are said to be some of the richest in the world. Have the Sahawari people benefited at all from these vast fish stocks?
Yes, thank you for the question, because the Sahrawi people have been denied right politically, economically, culturally. And when you talk about economy, we have fish and phosphate. When it's come to the fish, as you know, European Union have extended, the old FPA with Morocco for another year. Even with the illegality of the fishing in the territory itself, because the pressure of Spain and France in European Union, the European Union have extended technically the fishing agreement, which is supposed to end in 2010, and they will be renegotiated in the next year. And I think this fishing agreement, European Union have given Morocco 144 million euro. But these return for fishing in the territorial water of Western Sahara should go to the Sahrawi people, civilians in the territory. And the Sahrawi have made that the protest in Gdemizik to show that they have not benefiting from any wealth, whether phosphate or fishing. And it is really very sad to see Europe accepting this fishing agreement. In a sense, one could say it, they are stealing legally the fish of Western Sahara, and they are selling it to the European citizens. And I think the last debate, we have 7 countries against that, including Sweden, Denmark, and Netherlands, and Sweden, Finland, and UK, and Netherlands, and Cyprus. They were not in favor of this agreement because the Sahrawi people are not benefiting from it. Number one. Number two, also the information provided by Morocco, it's not clear. And also the ultimate right for this mineral wealth, it's for the Sahrawi people and the Sahrawi people representative. And according to the Hans Corell verdict on 2002, it's made it very clear that exploitation of the territory, non-autonomous territory, should not be legal unless it's in the benefit of the people or in the consent of the people. Both of these elements is not been met as a condition in the question of the fishing. And also the Morocco are not making any efforts to defend the Sahrawi territorial water or try to see the environment, or they don't care about the Sahrawi fish. And in particular when it's come to Europe, I think Spain is one of the predominant element or country fishing in the territory of Western Sahara, and Portugal. And we asked the international community to stop fishing in the territory, and also to stop taking the Sahrawi phosphate from the territory, because it does not belong to Morocco, it does not belong to anyone, it belongs to the Sahrawi people, and the Sahrawi people have not said exactly their views on what they will do with that, because it's pending. And the United Nations should take the lead on this business, should take the control of the mineral wealth, and should leave it till the territory decide its status, whether independence or be part of Morocco.
How is the Polisario funded, and who are the major donors?
Well, the Polisario started in 1973, as I have said, based on their own means and on the solidarity and support and affiliation to its membership. And now, as you know, when Spain pulled out in 1976, we have proclaimed the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, and the Sahrawi Republic has been recognized by more than 80 countries throughout the world, and we are founder member of African Union through these diplomatic relationship and association and support. Polisario get its funding. Of course, Algeria give us assistance in different form, and we got assistance from South Africa, from Nigeria, from many countries, and also from our network throughout the world.
Is military action a realistic option for the Polisario?
I think you are correctly if you try to find out the opinion of the Sahrawi, whether they will opt to the military option or not. Why? Because the Sahrawi as a whole, they are frustrated, not only the youth or section of the Sahrawi people, the whole Sahrawi people in occupied territory, in liberated area, in refugees camps. The leadership are frustrated by the fact that we have been waiting for the last 20 years of United Nations to deliver the referendum which is supposed to deliver in 1991, and everybody is frustrated by the lack of firmness of international community, the lack of serious pressure on Morocco, the lack of pressure of European Union on Morocco to respect the right of the Sahrawi people. Everybody is frustrated, but we still hung into the view that United Nations could twist the arm of Morocco, hopefully twist the arm of Morocco, accept the political solution rather than putting the mind on military option. The military option is an option, but it is not in itself and means and objective. It is an instrument. It is a way to express the complete failure of the political discussion and political negotiation. But I think the option of war going back, it is an option, but it should be the last option. We hope that the Sahrawi people will not be pushed to demonstrate that they will be pushed to take that option. We hope that the international community will not push the Sahrawi to take that. Yes, you are correctly. The Congress, it's coming before the end of the year. It is a moment where the Sahrawi people and Polisario will make an assessment to the previous 4 years of their achievement, their failure, and to point out the weaknesses and to highlight the strengths. Definitely we are proud of the achievement, but not satisfied, because the satisfaction will be to the independence of Western Sahara. Definitely it is a moment for the Sahrawi people to evaluate whether the political process, whether the negotiation which we have starting through the supervision of the special representative of General Secretary Mr. Christopher Ross, whether it's worth it to continue or will have any hope for any result for that or not. That's up to the Congress to decide. But I think yes, the feeling of everyone is frustrated because this is 35 years of the struggle. You have since 2005 non-stop demonstration, manifestation of the Sahrawi people in occupied territory. You have, crackdown by the Moroccan against these human rights activists in occupied territory of Western Sahara. You have, Gdemizi camp, which has been set up as a very advanced, very civilized message to the international community and to Morocco to tell everyone that we have been fed up with lack of non-respect of our right. The consequences of that and brutal dismantle of that camp, was very well known by the international community, but the response proportionally was very weak, and the United Nations failed to respond to the international investigation to what's happening in Gdemizi, and also the violation of human rights has been by Morocco in occupied territory has been very well documented by all the major human rights organizations like Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, Freedom House, and also many NGOs have documented the serious and alarming violation of human rights in occupied territory. All of these in the top of non-compliance of Morocco with its international obligation, and on the top of that there is no political solution, there is no progress. Definitely will lead the mind to think about what went wrong, what we have not done right, to see why the international community is ignoring all the wrongdoing carried out by Morocco, ignoring the soft approach has been given or carried out or implemented by Polisario, and ignoring the softness of the Sahrawi people towards their struggle, ignoring the civil and the peaceful resistance of the Sahrawi people in occupied territory. Definitely all of these elements will be element of analysis to the Congressists, to the Sahrawi Congress, to decide which action will be considered. Definitely, the military option is one of them. But I think for international community, it's much more cheaper for international community to put pressure, political pressure on Morocco, and to give some substance in the negotiation. In negotiation with Polisario in the auspices of United Nations, rather than focusing on buying very sophisticated fighters, jet fighters, and ignoring the right of the people in occupied territory, and also not honoring its international obligation.
The Moroccan government have recently offered autonomy to the Sahawari people in the occupied territories of Western Sahara. How does the Polisario react to such an offer?
As an option in the referendum, yes, but as a unique and the only option, it's not accepted. And we have offered, the Polisario have offered the two options, independence or integration, and that's exactly the option which has been accepted by Morocco in 91 and 97. Why Morocco pulled back and just try to enforce their views on the Sahrawi people, and the Sahrawi people have fought against that. And I think what will be valuable and what will be lasting solution, a political one, is the one which go through a choice and ballot box of the Sahrawi people to choose between independence or integration. And also the option does not respect international law, does not respect the resolution of United Nations 1514 or 1541. And the Sahrawi proposal take into consideration, giving the final say to decide the future of the territory or the sovereignty to the people of Western Sahara.
The conflict between Western Sahara and Morocco has been going on for over 30 years. What steps do the international community need to take to try to resolve this?
I think it is the Western Sahara conflict is the clear-cut, very easy conflict, if there is a political will by Morocco and by the international community and by Europe, by also permanent member of Security Council. This is very easy conflict. It's not complicated like Middle East or complicated like other issues. We have just, celebrated the independence of South Sudan. And the South Sudan example is a very clear example for the international community. They put their pressure on Sudan, in Sudanese issue, and they managed to see the Sudanese government fulfilling its commitment through the referendum, and they have, abided by the outcome of the referendum. Now you see South Sudan. If that pressure been used on Morocco by international community, the Western Sahara conflict should be sorted out a long time ago. Now, I think in the Arab Spring or Middle East, which is spread all over Middle East and North Africa, it is a good time for international community to ask Morocco to be a good partner in a peace and finding solution to the Western Sahara, providing the right of self-determination of Sahrawi people. And I believe we have started the Arab Spring from Gdeymizik in October, November. As you know, the Sahrawi civilians have staged, civil protest camp in east of Laayoune, for a month. And Morocco have dismantled it on the 8th of November in a more brutal way. And I think, we have started, the Arab Spring. And I think, in the Arab Spring, it is a very good moment and context by which one could convince Morocco what needs to be done. We need to have a political will by the international community. We need to point out, without any reservation, without any reluctance, that Morocco should respect human rights in the occupied territory of Western Sahara. The violation of human rights by Morocco been pointed out clearly by international organizations such as Amnesty, Human Rights Watch, and so forth. And all of these organizations have asked the Security Council to give or to extend the mandate of MINURSO to monitor human rights in the territory of Western Sahara. But due to the French position, the Security Council was short of giving the mandate of MINURSO to monitor the human rights. And I think with a little bit of determination by, let's say, the permanent member of Security Council, by the change of the attitude of France, by a little activities and leading role of UK, and by determination of African member of Security Council, and by also European Parliament, the European Commission, by pointing out to the Morocco that it will be in benefit of Morocco to allow the Sahrawi to exercise their right of self-determination. I think through those signals, I think we will be able to put the issue on the front banner and to put it on the agenda on a very important element. And I think one need to push it at this political conjuncture of Arab Spring. I think this is the best time, and to help the Sahrawi who've been fighting in complete silence, in complete darkness, in complete isolation, complete ignorance of the international community. And I think it is about time the Sahrawi people voices need to be heard.
Lamine Baali, thank you very much.